Yes, people, nice and decent people from all over the world, morning, noon, and night. Welcome. Welcome back to BBK Sports. It is August 4th, 5th. Oh, shit. I'm behind the time. I'm like the people in the Arsenal boardroom. I'm behind the time. I operate a day late and a dollar short in the transfer window. I have been reassured, or assured, not reassured, that quite a few of my colleagues feel confident that we were going to land Eze. And I kind of want to ask them if they still feel that confidence because the rumors have kind of quieted down. But we're going to get into all of it, people. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Sesko thing. We are going to get into the all the transfer rumors. Preview the Arsenal game tomorrow because all of a sudden the Arsenal game, a preseason game, all of a sudden feels like it has more riding on it. Only Arsenal can make you feel like a preseason game has consequence. Because all the fans are having their eyes peeled on Sofa Score or Foot Mob about an hour before kickoff just to see what the starting lineup is going to be. Because everyone is going to have their eyes peeled to see if Gyökeres is in the starting lineup. Now that I've asked, big up to Aaron yesterday. Big up to Aaron Talks Football. Aaron came through yesterday and dropped a couple of gems, gave me some new perspective on things that I wasn't even thinking about. And this is why I like to have discussions with other Arsenal fans. It's all about the discussion. It's a conversation that has to be had. And I'm asking, does Gyökeres have to start? Does he have to? No. But should he? Will he? In less than 24 hours, we will know, yeah? But I'm of the opinion that he should, to give ourselves the best chance of beating Man United. But Aaron went on to further enlighten me just how important it is that we win that Man United game, that we win that first game. I always thought it was important, but it's heightened now. So yeah, yesterday's video, it has timestamps in it when Aaron entered the stream, so feel free to go check that out. Because that brother speaks fluent football. And big up to Aaron Talks Football for dropping by BBK Sports yesterday. That was an absolute gem. But where are my manners? Normally, I don't rant for them 3-4 minutes before I acknowledge these legends in the chat, man. Like Bluebird said, hit those likes as you enter the stream, friends. Please do so. And subscribe if you haven't already. Absolutely. Big up to Gary down in Southern Cal. How are you, my friend? You are enjoying San Diego, yeah? I am enjoying the lovely morning breeze up here in these Pacific Northwest streets. But big up to you, big up to men like Gary. When you get some early morning breeze, you can also have some early morning music,
Maybach music.
I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover. Collar on my polo, kisses on my necklace. All my diamonds watching, now my watch is getting. I'm burning purple flowers, it's burning my chest. I bury the most cash and burning the rest. Rosea born stunner, I could blow money. 50 when I'm shopping, that ain't no money.
Maybach music.
Yes, people. E. Ross, the boss. And if you haven't heard E. Ross and his football analysis, make sure you go check him out yesterday. E. Ross, the boss, was on with Lion Text yesterday on Lion Text TV. What a stream. What a stream. I was in the office on so I'm back at work now, so I can't have my phone because I work in a secure building. So I'm watching the stream on a guest account on YouTube on the work computer, so I couldn't comment. But big up to E. Ross every single time. Guess I'm going to assume Brother E. Ross has given us permission to continue the stream. But man, like AJ is here. Big up to AJ. Now it wasn't AJ. It was actually, I think it was Godfrey. Godfrey had a certain level of certainty that we were going to get Eze. I want to hear from Godfrey if he still feels that way. AJ, what do you think, brother? You think we are landing at Eze? Because my confidence is waning, absolutely waning. If we, it's just too quiet for me right now. You know, Arsenal loves to get their name in the news. But yeah, big up to every single one of you watching. We got 11 people locked in. Yes, people, we are what? I think I'm like 10, 9, 10 subscribers away from 1,600 from our giveaway. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure that you do so. To all the silent listeners, yes, Gary, big up to you, man. Big up to you. You know you're always gonna get pub around these parts. Remember to click the likes and subscribe, and there go Ross the Don, boss around these parts. Okay, I see you. Okay, Gary, I got a little bit of time for you. I always have time for Gary. I always have time for Mr. Waffle. Just give me 1 second, Gary. Let me find my StreamYard link. I have to find it. Invite guests copied. And then we go here. And there you go. There you go, my friend. There you go. Big up to AJ. Say, Taryn, my brother, listen, this would it would cost 136 pounds for me to my mom and sister and nephew to go tomorrow, and we could do it 3 Arsenal ladies games for that. So I have that is not only a smart decision, it's also an economically well thought out decision, and you get more bang for your buck to the people that win. And you know what? So you have to support the women in it because they actually win. You know, it's kind of like over here in the United States on the national team, the U.S. men's national team, they don't win. They'll probably never will. But the women actually win. So if I actually had a choice to go watch the U.S. men's national team and the women's national team, I'd probably go watch the ladies because they actually win. You know, but yeah, so big up to you, man. Go watch. He said, please forgive me. I was swearing a lot on that stream. It's a safe space over here, man. It's an absolute safe space how we operate on this parts. Now, I was listening to the Waffle Down this morning with his daily waffle, and he asked, have we done enough? I'm like, nah, brother. It's quite simple, quite clear that we haven't done enough. Very clear. Here's why. We still have holes that we've not filled. Now, I know there's a big part of the fan base that's saying, oh my God, when's the last time you seen us sign 6 players in the transfer window? When's the last time you seen us sign 6 players in the transfer window? I'm like, okay. We may have signed 6 players in the transfer window, but we've also lost 3 or 4 players, right? There he is. I see Gary in the background. You're back. You're not on the West Coast anymore.
No, I'm back. Yeah, it was just a short weekend trip to see one of the kids. Yeah.
Are you getting your miles? Are you a Delta flyer or you're a United or?
I guess I'm United, but I don't travel that much. It just so happens that I've been traveling, but I don't travel much.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When you do travel, you travel in style, yeah.
Oh no, not it. No. I'm at the back. I'm at the back.
To the kitchen.
I'm right next to the kitchen. Yes. I get whatever's left on the cart when it comes by.
Oh my days! But you land when everyone else does, yeah.
I land when everybody else does, but I get off a little bit. I get on a little bit late, and I get off definitely a lot late as well.
Speaking of landing, what was your what was your comfort level or confident level that we were going to land at every region?
I'm 70-80% that we'll get him.
Still feel that way?
Yeah.
Do tell.
It's not. I just don't believe. I think everybody has a schedule, and I think it's not. I don't think they're going to meet our schedule, so that's going to be the thing. I think it's a little bit of waiting for Crystal Palace to with what they have to deal with. It's also they want to probably replace their player if they're going to let one go. Sounds like there actually is a means for us to. There are players that we could offer them. So there's lots of different variables to this thing, and but I know he wants Arsenal, so it's just a matter of time, and we'll see how it goes this week because I know we would like to get these players in sooner than later, of course. But yeah, no, I still feel comfortable that we're going to get him. I mean, I feel uncomfortable that I don't know if we're going to get the two players. We need to get two players in on the attacking side. I'll keep saying that before I feel like we've done at least something to better ourselves than we were before. You said it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Done a lot of replacing, but we've needed to improve the squad. Right now, the easiest improvement has been the only improvement really has been in regards to the starting team is Gyökeres, right? We don't know what we're going to do with Noni Madueke, right? And if Eze comes in, that definitely helps our starting attack, all right? And if we get another attacker in, that might even be a starter for us. So we've got, I think, we still got things so some moves we can make.
So
And
who do you think? You said we got players we can give him. Who can we give him? But they would actually want.
Well, I know I don't know I know there's like academy players they've looked at. I don't know which ones they would be looking at. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Trossard is a sound player. He's not a starter like an Eze, so you might be dropping down a little bit there. But that's kind of the names I can think of off the top of my head that would make a difference for them.
Give him Reese.
Reese, you know what? I feel like we haven't given him a chance.
Reese.
Yeah, I don't think we. I know. I don't. When I say that, I mean if he doesn't trust him, he needs to let him go. But he keeps holding on to him. So then I'm like, well, then you must trust him somewhat, right? But you don't want to play him. So then when I say he didn't get a chance, I don't think he's gotten. We've seen players that come in and we're like, why do they keep pushing them back out, right? You saw that you said that with Kai, right? Why do we keep pushing them out? And I think Arteta when he doesn't have the confidence in the players, we see it, and when we go, why are we wasting our time with this player? And it's not even sometimes that player is poor or bad or anything like that. It's that the manager's not going to play him. So if that's the case, then let's not waste our time.
I think Reese is a scam.
Yeah.
I think Reese is a con artist, brother. This Reese brother, what he does in the preseason, man. For 4 windows now, or for 5 seasons now, 4 or 5 seasons now, when he's fit in the preseason, he looks brilliant, Gary. He always looks brilliant. He always comes on and looks good, looks direct. But like, oh man, Reese has a new bounce in him, new pep in his step. And then this season starts, and then Reese just goes back to the factory settings. I'm like, so.
See, I don't know if that's all on him.
Mm.
I think it's a little bit of. I think it's about 50-50 for me, how we're managing him and how and what he when he gets out there he needs to show it, right? So some of that's on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But but is he actually getting the chance? And I mean that from an Arteta's perspective. Does he actually feel like he can give something to him? Give him the minutes, give him the confidence, give him the trust that he's going to put him out there and put him in situations to succeed. I don't think we put our players in positions to succeed in certain scenarios, right?
Gary,
I think he's one of them. I think he's one of them.
Well, why are you scared to say it?
Why am I scared to say what?
Well, you say we don't put our.
That's Arteta. I said Arteta multiple times. No, this is a coaching. This is a coaching thing.
No, you're very good at that. You're very good at taking this thing out of when you. It's okay to take a dig at.
But you know what? It's a team thing, right? Because Arteta might be the one, actually implementing the way he wants to handle his players. But at some point, somebody else has got to be looking at this, going, "Is that right? Is that right? We can't get anything else out of Reece Nelson. And then why are we holding on to him? So he's got to be one or the other, right? We're either holding on to him because the manager says I need to keep him, and if that's the case, why? Because you're not playing him. So for me, that's why I like to say we a little bit, because I don't believe it's all on Arteta in terms of somebody else is sitting there going, this is what I say a lot. Either you're coaching it or you're letting it happen. So
Yeah.
either the management is saying this is how we would like you to run our squad, all right?
Mm.
Or they're letting it happen, meaning they don't have the control that they should,
Yeah.
right? Same thing with the coaching. Either he's coaching these things or he's letting it happen. So if he's letting it happen, that means he's lost control. If he's asking for that, then he's saying you should be able to do this and they can't. So you got
Yeah.
to make a decision. I know a lot of people have joined since I actually shared the link. So thanks everybody who joined from the channel.
Mm-hmm.
BBK, if you haven't already, you should subscribe to him as well. He not only puts out football chat, but he does put out some basketball chat if you're into that as well. I assume do you do football as well? I know basketball. I don't know about the other
Yeah,
sport.
so I do an around the leagues show when all the leagues are on.
Okay.
Ranking currently, and yeah, and I just touch around all the leagues. But yeah, big up to DJ Jam Boy said we need a proper left back, left winger Cam, and a proper backup striker. So the left back one annoys me, right? Like, what do you think we need another left back, Gary?
I
Yeah.
don't. No. You know what? There's okay. If you're saying legit left back, then I get it. But we don't need one like that. Like that's at the bottom of the list of priorities and stuff that we need. All right.
Mm,
I think we're covered on left back in regards to we've got somebody who will start there. We've got cover if they get injured.
yeah.
So like for me, it's not a priority. Like like left wing is a priority. We don't have anybody there right now that we as a fan base feel fits the bill. Right. Everybody has questions. We've seen either they've got questions, meaning Madueke, or we already know what we're gonna get and we don't like it. All right. I mean, I think if you were to say if there's a way to get Nweri or Dalman out there and maybe move things around as far as
Mhm.
our wings, I don't think we would have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't-
So
Yeah,
the,
Alonso.
the fact that we just I say it annoys me because we just let Kieran Tierney leave on a free, and you said a true left back, like a real left back, the one that we
Yeah.
don't need. And
Yeah.
clearly, you are right because they let him leave for free because that message says we don't need you because he was the only. There was no one in our Arsenal squad that can give you that overlap and whip that ball in like Kieran Tierney does. His whip it, the balls that he whips in when he overlaps are just absolutely old school 4-4-2, get down the wing and whip it in for your striker football. Yeah, and we let him go. And if we go do that and then spend 30 million on another left back and then get told that we don't have any money for Eze now, then I'm gonna be really, really, really annoyed. Because I don't want to see a damn deadline day deal with link with Arsenal linked with Ben Chilwell. You know it. You know it's coming, Gary. You know it's coming. Deadline day, Chelsea signing. You know it's coming.
We've got two already, man. Come on, that's got to be. We've got to hit our quota already, right? I
There's no
mean,
limit. There's
I
no
mean,
limit.
that's got. What? This is not a hold my beer moment when it comes to like Chelsea business. Please, no more. No. I'm saying no. I mean, no. That's yeah.
There's no limit. But so in the opening, my opening little monologue, I said it feels like tomorrow's preseason game has more riding on it than it should for a preseason game because it seems like there's pressure there for Arsenal, one, to look better and to start Gyökeres with the supporting cast, so to speak. So with Zubi, with Odegaard, with the first unit, so to speak. Anything other than that, and should we be concerned that we're not ready? Because the preseason, it's in the name, right? It's a preseason. It's to get ready for the season. If we're not ready by the fourth preseason game, we can't be off it to start.
Yeah,
Surely.
yeah, I'm with you on that. Like the only thing that I'm really looking for is getting what should be our starting front six, front seven, I guess. What do you want to call it, right?
Mhm.
Front, front six, yeah, front six. So whoever that midfield and those front three are, they need to be playing at least to start games off when things are a little bit, when you can get a real true test of what you're going to see. At halftime, if you want to pull because you think players just aren't, going to give you the full 90, that's fine for me. But for sure, no, we need to see. I mean, like I said, I need to, Eucharist should. I don't care of his fitness right now. He needs to be playing with these guys so they know how he plays in
Mhm.
an atmosphere. All right. And if he doesn't play a full game until the second game of the season, whatever it might be, then that's fine with me. But I feel like he needs to have played with them where he feels like, all right, I need to work on certain things, or they need to work. They need to figure out this is what I'm going to do, right? So there's some continuity there between the players because the sooner the better. We don't, if we're figuring things out, I think the fans will be okay, especially fans like you will be okay. If we're like, you know what, I know this isn't. I can see what they're trying to do, but they're just not there yet because they haven't clicked. One, because they haven't had enough time.
Hmm.
You'll be more comfortable with some. I think you'll be more comfortable with that. I think I definitely would like to. I feel comfortable. Like, you know what, it's going to work. It's not going to happen day one, but they need to. The more they get out there, the
Hmm.
more continuity we're going to see, and then we're going to, because that's some of the stuff we're not seeing right now. We're not seeing enough of them try to play like they got a striker, right? Like if they're making passes and the striker can't get to it because they're not a true striker and they don't think that way, then I think we'll go, you know what, I get it. But we're like playing a system with whoever we got, and like
Hmm.
that means we're gonna handcuff ourselves, right? And not play the way we should. And then you're like, well, I don't see how this is gonna work when we put a striker in there because we're not even trying to play that way right now.
Yeah.
And mentally, it is, it's an issue. So
You
yeah.
think this could happen? You think we could try reset left wing? So it can't be any worse than what we've got.
No, you know what? This is where I just told you, like we have two academy players that if we could figure out a way to get them on the pitch and and then I'd rather have one of them. Let's one of them try the left side. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because I believe they're footballers, and you just put them on the pitch and just tell them what to do. They're more likely going to get it done, and at least if they go off script a little bit, you're going to enjoy it more because we know what they can do,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I know it's probably not the best way to handle them, but
No, I hear it. I hear that stuff.
you're not doing anything right now where we go, you know what? We have that left wing. You guys you academy players and Wary and Dowman, you guys will sit because guess what? Look who we got there,
Yeah.
you know.
I hear that shot, Gary, because our best player right now didn't start out where he started. Like Saka did not start at right wing. Like
Yeah.
when he came into the squad, no one looked at him and said, "That's our future right winger." So I completely hear that shout. AJ said, Lookman factually put in a transfer request 3 days ago. Go find the 48 million pounds for him now. What do you think of Lookman, Gary? Because
Well,
my
we also
position is I've seen him in the Prem for 3 different teams. I didn't think he cooked. I think he's one of those players that actually fit that Italian league, and he's banging over there. But I've seen him at Leicester, seen him at Fulham, seen him at Everton, and he didn't really cook for me. So I think we can do better.
mm, yeah. I don't have the history of what he looked like before. Can only go by what we see now. We definitely saw him in that Europa final and went,
Mhm.
okay, he's got it, and he hasn't like seriously dropped off from
Mm.
that play that we saw, right? So we know that there's some consistency there. Um,
You watch
I
college football, right?
I do.
So
Yeah,
you're a Gators? You're a Gator?
I
Okay,
am.
so I call Lookman, I call it the Tim Tebow effect.
Ah,
Tim Tebow lived in the NFL off his college resume, yeah?
mhm.
He's living off that finals performance, that Europa League final performance,
Well,
bro.
we got one of our own, right?
Yeah, so
we already
he's
got we already
yeah,
got one of those on our team
I think he's
already,
living
right?
off that. He did perform well at Anfield. I give him that. He performed well at Anfield when they knocked out Liverpool.
Yeah.
But that final where he scored a hat trick, nutmeg, Xhaka, and all that, he's living off that, because Tim Tebow came to the NFL and it was a different thing. He had
Well, you know what?
spots
As
everything.
I'm a fan of Tim
Yeah,
Tebow and all, but I just one of those things where that's when you know how they say it's the player.
mm,
He needed to do some things in the off season. He didn't do it.
yeah,
He needed to work on certain skill sets, and he didn't do it. And I'm like, I was disappointed that he didn't do that. He thought he could just live off of, like you said, what he did before. It's
yeah,
like, no, that don't work.
yeah,
You need to be able to look
yeah,
like you can throw a football.
yeah. And that's the thing. It's fundamental. So I can even compare that to Martinelli's mechanics, right? If you see Martinelli's mechanics, he relies on instincts, right? When he's hesitate, looking for the moment to just run. Tim Tebow's footwork when he used to drop back to throw the football was atrocious, Gary. He was, and that's why he would throw ducks, he would throw quackers. There was no spiral on the ball.
When you had this quality that we had all over around him, it made it
Yeah,
look easy,
you
right?
talking about Percy Harvin in there? Yeah,
Yes,
hey
yeah,
man,
we like. I
Hall of
mean, it
Fame
was
talent. Them
you
boys
just
are bad.
that was. I mean, I enjoyed that those couple
Yeah,
of seasons there.
yeah.
I mean, I got to go to Arizona and watch them play to win the championship there and all of that. It
Mm,
was no, really great season there. And then I got to see him as a freshman and see him as a senior, and you're like, yeah, there are some environments that work best, and then when you
mm.
find an environment and ask them to do it with the better players, you see the difference. So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, so that's what I see when I see Lookman. I see a player who had some brilliant performances and it stuck because there were a lot of eyes on the
Mhm.
television at that time, and be like, man, look at that guy. He must be really good. But if you look at his body of work over the 3 4 years he was in the Premier League,
Yeah.
I'm
You know what's interesting? I don't know, like when the season ended, I remember all of see. Oh, this is me. No, yeah, this is. I guess this is them saying to my waffle, huh?
mm,
No, when the season ended, I know in fact was all about. You know what? Maybe we just go out and get some, Premier League talent, right? Because we all the players that we've seen go, right? I think we're all like, yeah, we could bring them on, all of them.
mm,
Anyone, Bueno, Cunha, Kudus, like any of them. We're like, yes, let's bring them on, right? I, definitely Noni Madueke was not on that list,
mm-hmm,
all right? We didn't, but those other players were, and those other players are in terms of financially viable options for us. We could have got any of them. I think Cunha might be a little bit too high for us at the time, but most of the players we could have gotten, we haven't done that. So once again, I think we're like we missed out. We missed those opportunities once again, right?
yeah.
Because we talk about do you have the Premier League experience, and then we didn't go for that. At least for starters, I talk about players that can legitimately start for us. Um, the ones we did bring in are definitely backups as we speak, right? Um, I don't how many like yeah of the six that we have, four legitimate backups, right? One definitely a starter, and then another one we don't know. We're concerned that he might be a starter for us. You know what I mean? I mean, we're concerned. I we'll see. He sounds like he's ready to play and ready to fight. I hate this like ready to fight for his position, right? We hear that all the damn time. When there's
Mm,
a player that we're like, all right, it's time for you to go, and they're like, no, 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 they want to stay and fight. Like Rodrigo wants to stay and fight for a position. What what did he not learn in the last like 2 3 months of how he was being utilized when they're trying to win
yeah.
something and how they utilize him? How is that going to change all of a sudden?
Well, it's gonna change because he's waiting for Xavi Alonso to get sacked. Because he's gonna, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna. I don't think he lasts for Christmas, Gary. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's what he's waiting on, not to fight
Yeah.
for his position, because Rodrigo knows he has the quality to be there. It's not a quality thing. He knows that he's a good player.
Mhm.
But when this manager gets sacked, which he will probably before, if he starts slow, every Madrid fan, big up to Sam, that I've done podcasts with, say the seat is hot over there because they didn't win anything last year. The way they went out and the way Barcelona's been punching them up, it's been a mad one. Quick question: the Washington Wizards, they're the worst team in the NBA. Oh, they're just that. I think a college team can beat them. You remember that '06 Gators team that won the champion? They could beat the Washington Wizards right now. They are absolute ass.
Well, we had three NBA players on there, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Were there three?
there were
There was
three,
Joakim
yeah.
Noah. I remember Joakim Noah.
No, they
Was it
all three of them made it to the NBA. All
Al
three.
Horford was on that team, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was
Horford was initially when the season started. Horford was like, he'll be all right. Next thing
Yeah,
you know, he's like the best talent we got at the end of the season, right?
yeah. I remember them too. I remember Horford and Noah. I don't remember the
And then
third.
there was a forward. What was his name? He ended up going to the Timberwolves at some point. So yeah, we
Oh,
had
yeah.
3-3. Yeah, yeah.
That
That
was
front
20 years
line.
ago still. So I
Yeah, that front line got went to the NBA. All three of them. Yeah.
nah, the Hornets are better than the Wizards. The Hornets, they're better. They're bad too, but at least they got LaMelo Ball who can actually score. Yeah, but
He still has a. Does he still have that weird shot? Right. I
yeah,
mean,
unorthodox. Yeah,
it's like that. That's not supposed to go in.
yeah, yeah,
uh, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get all of this, but we know everybody said at the end of the season he'll be back. So then what am I supposed to do? I I
Who will
can't
be
watch.
back?
no, Arteta will be back, right?
at the end of the season.
No. This is he talking about next season, or is he talking about now? Because yeah, I think he's talking about now.
He wastes. Oh, okay, I
This
got
season, I think he's
you.
talking about this season. I think so.
Okay.
We all thought he was coming back. So yeah,
Mm.
so I say this all the time. I can't. I have to. And you know what? I saw you on the show, and I was thinking this.
Mm-hmm.
My cup's always half full.
Mm-hmm.
Your cup's not always half full.
Nah, it's damn near done. There's nothing in there. I'm speaking on the air right now. Yeah, there's nothing in there.
My cup's full. My cup's half full. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit more, but but
Mm.
there's gotta be this is my team, so I'm gonna cheer for my team. The only way it can work is if I feel like there's some water in that cup,
Okay, Gary.
right?
So if normally if you when you hear breaking news, like back in the day when you heard breaking news, like something really happened. Right now, breaking news is the stock market is down today, right? But if you woke up tomorrow and you heard breaking news, Arsenal and Mikel Arteta decided to part ways, how would you feel?
I'll be like, let's go.
Let's go. Okay,
I am Arsenal
I didn't
first,
feel that. I
right?
didn't feel that.
I'm
I didn't
Arsenal.
feel
I'm Ars. I'm I'm Arsenal in. Or they Arteta out? No, I'm Arsenal in. I'm in
that.
for whatever's good for Arsenal. Like if I
Exactly.
thought selling Saka meant we get better, then I say we sell him.
Mm,
That's how I feel. I think some people are like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, nah. If you told me we'll get better if we sell Saka, I'm like, let's do it.
mm,
Right? There's a small scenario where that might work. Right? And that's all because of the money more than anything else, not because of the player, but more because if you can take him out and bring in two players, maybe you'll be a lot bit better and you have a little bit, you have
mm.
a little bit, a little bit more bandwidth. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm all for Arsenal. Whatever's better for Arsenal. So if Arteta has to go, then he needs to go. Somebody needs to make that call. It's not me, not
Mhm.
us fans, because we've been asking. A lot of like
We ain't been asking
think
Gary. We're in
no,
the minority.
no. Think about it. We were asking whatever 4 or 5 years ago, right before we went into that Christmas break, right? We were
Mm.
playing Chelsea, and we're all sitting there going, "Hmm, this might be a good time to. You know what? He don't need to. He don't need. He doesn't need
Pull
to
the plug
play
on
this.
it. Yeah.
You know."
Yeah.
And then what does ESR do? He goes out there and shows out, and next thing you know, we're like, okay, I guess we got a little run here,
Yeah.
right? And and I think that was the same time Eddie and Kenny decided to play some football.
Yes.
And
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's funny how you say that while this comment is on the screen, because
mm,
basically what you just said, that the youngsters saved him. ESR,
yeah,
Eddie saved him in that game. So MLS needs saving from Arteta, like most of the team. He will get exposed this season, unfortunately, and Arteta will waste no time throwing the young man under the bus. I think MLS, because he doesn't see himself as a left back or as a defender, it shows in his play sometimes when he switches off.
mm,
But obviously Arteta has to look at that and has to know. And I think he does actually, and I think that's why he does like to start Martinelli, because Martinelli does do a lot of defensive work, runs back and track back and help him out when he vacates that space. But yeah, I think he does have. But I expect that, right? Because he's what,
yeah.
18.
I think he's pressing a little bit. Because if you at least I can't say I know the position much, but I just feel like he's pressing and he's trying to do too much and he's getting himself caught out, right?
Mm,
He's getting himself caught out. Whereas if he just like, I think just temper that anxiety and just like or excitement, he'll be fine. But he's trying to do too much and he's getting caught out because players can see him leaning. See a lot of people in there had come in when I joined. Thanks for joining us. Remember, hit the BBK and subscribe and like to him. But I appreciate you joining. I haven't done a show in a while because like I said, I was traveling, so I didn't do a show this weekend. Came back Sunday night actually, so and I'm no show tomorrow, but we'll be back in time next weekend. Yeah. No, I'm an Arsenal end, so that's what I'm gonna say.
I'd be doing backflips. I'd be doing
Yeah.
backflips. I go to like the local
The
breakfast.
question would then be who, who, because that's you like, and I think Berta would have I think if you ask Berta right now behind closed door, he would have an answer because I think that's part of his job is to have that answer, right? Like this, the guy, he walks in, he's hired, and he's like, I got an envelope here. When you tell me that, when it gets to that point that we're going to have to make a serious change, here's the answer in this envelope right here. All right, because I have
Yeah.
no doubt he's already done his work. And
Yeah.
he'll be like, let's go. If we're gonna go this route, somebody has to go. Move
Mm-hmm.
it. Let's
Yeah.
let's move somebody in. I think that's why we brought him in, because I think he has already looked at all those scenarios and has an answer if and when it comes up. And like, I think we're gonna have to fire our coach. And he's like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, here's an envelope. Hey, here it is. When you're ready, open it, and then we'll let's go. I think that's kind of what we want out. That's what I think he's capable of, and that's what we want from that role.
Yeah, on the Lookman thing, and I get you, AJ. I completely get you. Like Rodrigo is, the clear best one that could fill that void. But with the Lookman, I look at the left side of our team, and I'm looking at the levels. Like I'm looking at Robert Perez, Alexis Sanchez levels. Right, that's the level that I expect from that side. And Martinelli's nowhere near that. Neither is Lookman. So if we're gonna get rid of Martinelli and get Lookman, it may not be a side pass, but it's just like a 2-yard pass. I need a banger on the left side of our pitch because
Or the question is, maybe we just don't have that, and we just have to take an athlete. All right, just take an athlete and say, you know what? That's why I'm saying at some point you might have to go. You know what? We either can't afford or they're not available. That left wing that we want.
yeah,
Just take your best athletes that you have on the squad, your best talent on the team, and and just plug them in.
yeah,
At the least, you're going to get some good talent out there on that side. All right, you know. And that's
mhm,
kind of how I see it. I rather have, if you're not going to find the left wing that we want, then you better just go get me the best player you can, right? Like
yeah,
we look at like Eze and look at Leao. If you brought both of them in, people are like, why would you do that? And it's like we just have to change things around. That's all. You know what I mean? But now we have two better athletes and two better footballers in the squad than we
mhm,
had the other day. Make it work. All right,
yeah,
make it work, Arteta. Got Rich in the house. Thanks for joining.
yeah. See, Rich, big up to Rich, man. Big up to Rich every single time. Uh, say Gary was taken aback by the hypothetical situation. His voice, maybe I didn't feel it,
Hey,
Gary. I
what?
didn't feel the oomph in that. Let's go.
Well, you
Let's go.
called me you called me off guard. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You got that right. You got me.
Brother,
Yeah,
I
you
be
got me.
celebrating. I go to the local diner and I pay for everybody breakfast,
Yeah,
brother. I get so happy. They be like, "What's he so happy about?" I be like, "It's like a new beginning. It's a new beginning at the football club. The
yeah,
cancer is gone."
yeah. I'm all like I said. I'm all about let's just get better, and if that means people got to move, then they got to move. So
If
yeah.
we sold Saka and did what Liverpool had done post Coutinho, no brainer. Yeah, see that. You know.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying there has to be a plan. I think Bertu would have the plan,
Yeah, because we're
but I
not.
don't know. But would Arteta be the one to actually implement that plan? You know what I mean? That's the other question people are going to have, right?
Yeah, because I take the money away from this the Liverpool selling Coutinho thing, and I put names to the. I said Virgil and Van Dijk. That's who Coutinho got you, and all of a sudden people be like, yeah, look at that. Yeah, you sell you sold one world class player and bought two.
Mm.
So I'm here for it. Yes, yeah, they saved him. I used to make the case that he's the luckiest manager alive. Because I really think if there were in the early part of his tenure, if fans were allowed in the stadium, I think they would have turned on him during the beginning of the 2020 season, the 2020.
As a friend of mine would say, happy accidents is what Arteta's
Yeah,
had.
happy for him. He got 50
Yeah.
mil a year out of it, isn't it? Dr. Seymour Bus, I would do that, and Berta could buy the risk. Arteta is getting the soccer money. Yeah, you pretty much said that. We are by far the worst team the worst of the big teams that's selling players. Liverpool is going to get around 13 or 14 million for Martin, and who doesn't even play. We are struggling to get 20 to 25 for Vieira. Why is that, Gary? Why do you think we suck at selling players so much?
Well, it's because we had Edu and Arteta
Thank you, bro.
running the show. That's why I think Berto won't do those types of things. And I also feel like we took too many risks when we didn't need. We couldn't take the risk that we did, and we did. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Sambi, risk. Nuno Tavares, risk.
Mm-hmm.
Marquinhos, what the world was that? The man
Yeah,
was free, and we spent 3 mil on it, and
that
so
was a blunder.
for one reason, and we didn't even get that. We did that. Nothing came out of it. So there's the three players right there. We took risks on when we really need. Like, you go and get. I always look at it as you went out there and you got Ben White. Maybe it didn't work out as a center back for him, but he definitely was a talent, and you were able to utilize him. You find Timber. How do you find a Timber? But then previous seasons before that, we're looking at Sambi and Tavaj. You know what? I don't get how that worked. It's the same people picking the players
Mm,
between those two. How did you find a Timber? Guess what? Because guess what you realize you got to pay a little bit more for the talent,
mm,
right? And if it didn't work out, you could sell a Timber, right? But you spent for those three players the same amount for Timber, and you can't play them.
yeah,
They're not worth anything. So I think you get what you pay for, and we got risks, and we lost out
yeah,
with those ones. So I think for me. We don't get the talented players when we bring them in. We get like, well, maybe they might be a surprise. You know how you're in the stock market and you go to the penny stocks,
hmm,
right? And people say, don't do the penny stocks. You're going to lose money there. Go buy a legitimate stock. Even if it doesn't play out, it's going to still make you some money. A penny stock could blow up and you'll be laughing, but you go get a solid stock. Even if it doesn't hit you, go 100% gains, it'll still get you a decent amount that you can live off of, right? In terms of you can take that risk, and if you sell it, you still make a profit,
yeah.
right?
I
And we
think
don't.
we suck at selling players because of these ones that we're trying to get rid of now is because their contracts are so economically unattractive. Like Zinchenko on 150 is a very bad look for any team outside of the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And even teams inside the Premier League are not going to pay a left back that type of money, especially when he's the third or fourth choice left back at Arsenal Football Club. Because I know AC Milan wants him, but they finish outside of a Champions League spot. They're not playing Champions League next season. Serie A doesn't rake in peas like that, so they're not going to do that unless they get him at a discount rate. Reece is on 100K, Martinelli's on 180. The contracts makes it very difficult. Liverpool could get a 30 million for who they sold. Was it Kwanzaa? Who they sold to Leverkusen? They sold someone to Leverkusen for 30 million pounds because they were on 15K. So it is what it is. Era
Because I,
said, "Here we
because I
go."
think, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go on.
No, I was going to say because even like now, if you're looking, I believe if I'm correct, we bought in Zubamendi, our starting defensive mid, and I believe he's making under 100K.
Yeah, I heard 75. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
I
It
didn't
says 75 on this Capology website.
know.
So
Okay.
I'm like looking at that, going, like, is that what Liverpool would have paid him? Because they wanted him the season before,
I think they would have paid him
right?
less or thereabouts. Yeah. 'Cause they
So
had.
so 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 we might be paying a little bit more than Liverpool would be paying, but
Yeah.
he's still less than the baseline for, like, he's on the low scale. He's there hanging out with, like, not Dalman, but Nweri, all right,
Yeah. And I think that's a
and
good wage for him to
Skelly.
be on. I think that's a good
But
wage for him to be started on because
but
Partey was on 200.
yeah, but for a talent that we
Mm.
need, and he will start for us, right? The assumption is he will start for us, right?
Mm.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
So if
I
he's
think
starting
that.
for us, then and starters typically is supposed to make 150 on this team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you get him for half the price, then that's probably for me a Berta. That's
Yeah.
why because I think if that was Edu, we probably would have been paying close to over 100,
Yeah.
more than likely.
I was shocked when I found out what I heard what Luis Diaz was on at Liverpool. For his output and for a forward player who scores goals. Goals are expensive, and I heard he was on. I was like, Liverpool. They're getting away with highway robbery there when we're playing left backs 150. That's why we can't sell him. Big up to Mr. Bat. Said Leao is great going forward when he wants to be. All for going back. You'll be better off with Martinelli. At least he tracks back.
See that. I don't like that mindset. If we're up 2-0, who cares if he goes back? That's the problem. We're never up 2-0 because we don't have that player that will force the issue.
Yeah.
Right? We're missing that guy that gets the second goal to put us up 2 goals. Right? We have the guy that we're up 1-0, right?
Mm.
And he'll help us keep that 1-0 game more likely. We need to move on. This is like you were talking about the women's game earlier. Like,
Yeah.
the Arsenal women needed to be scoring 3 goals a game.
Mm-hmm.
against everybody because that's what the level was to compete to win the title. You need to be scoring 3 goals easy on everybody in the league because that's what Chelsea was doing and that's kind of how it worked out. All right, same for us. We need to be getting 2 goal leads and be able to score 2 goals at any point in a game. Right?
Yeah.
You've seen it. You've seen it last season with Liverpool, right? They go down a man and they still score the 2 goals to get them back into the game. It don't matter how many players they have and what the state of the game is. They got at least 2 to 3 goals in them in every game. That's where we need to be because our defense is solid enough that if I told you, guess what? We're gonna get uh, we're gonna get 2 to 3 goals in every game we play. We're not we're not losing. We're not dropping points that much,
Yeah.
right?
I
And that's where we need to be in my eyes.
I think the brother point when I see Leao play for AC, like he's he is really good going forward. He's a 6'2" winger, right? And he's very imposing physically, but when he's off of it, he gives you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like he is,
That's
yeah,
when you have to manage your players, right?
yeah, yeah. So
So
I
he might
hear
not
the chat.
he might not play that game. He might come out at halftime. All those types of things come into play, right?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
also get it. I also understand Waffle Down. You know, if you're an attacking winger, I don't care about your defending, right? I care what you do. Do your damage going forward, because we don't talk about goal scoring center backs, and it's a bonus if you can do a Gabriel or a Sergio Ramos and head one in every now and then. But you know, if you can't
Now think
defend,
about it. We like a lot of people care about Zinchenko going forward and
mm,
supporting the midfield when he inverts, and it's like, no. But we're losing games because when he's got to defend, we're having a problem here, right?
mhm,
That's the problem. The problem is the primary role that you're in. If you're playing the left back and you can't defend, then you're giving away goals. I don't care if you're helping us in the attack, but we're struggling on the defensive side, and that's where the problem is. And that's why Zinchenko is not it's not working, right? It doesn't
mhm,
work. And that's why he needed. That's why one reason why he needed to go because the primary goal, like for me, if Martinelli was at least in my eyes, at least semi okay in the attack,
mhm,
the defense would shine, but we would be okay. We're still getting some goals that we are getting something out of him on his when he attacks. Right, right now we're getting nothing. Right
yeah,
now we're noticing we're getting nothing when he attacks. And like
yeah.
if he's putting balls in and nobody's there, then we'll complain about that. But we're not even getting that. Yeah. You see,
Gary, 31.72 million to sack Arteta today. Just do it,
yeah,
like
yeah, yes,
sack
yeah.
him.
You know what? That's nothing. That's nothing.
Mm,
You know it's easy to fire the manager
mm,
in every sport that's out there, no matter how much you pay them.
mm,
It doesn't mean you can't get better players, you know, unless you don't get the right manager coming in. So yeah,
mm,
yeah. If it costs like like I said, at some point if Berta goes to the KSC and says, you know what,
mhm,
if you want this to work, if you really legitimately want this to work, then we can't do this anymore. This experiment's got to change, right? And if he's got supposedly the power that we hope he does, they'll listen to him and go, all right, tell us what to do next. And they'll say,
mm,
you're gonna have to take the hit. You're gonna have to take the loss, right?
yeah.
I mean, we're gonna lose money on him, but if I bring in the right guy, we'll be all right with what we have right now. I won't even have to change anything. You
Mm,
know what I mean? Because that's kind of what I think a lot of us feel that way, right? You
yeah.
bring in a better manager, he will. We Arteta has yet to overachieve with this team. I know people will say, but he's keeps increasing. But the only way he's going to do that now is if he walks in with a trophy.
Yeah, speaking of trophies, like it's gonna be more difficult next year to win a trophy because we haven't seen Pep go on 2 seasons in this league without winning the league. Not just trophies. Like he hasn't gone 2 years without winning the actual Premier League itself.
Mhm.
They didn't win anything last year, so they are not only we're competing with that monster, you know, we're competing with this Liverpool team that's about to break the transfer record twice. So, you know, he has to overachieve if he's going to win something. He has to. That's that, and I don't know if I trust him to do it. Major problem if Sesko goes to a knob. Dio actually raised Sesko, and Dio wanted Sesko ahead of Gyökeres, and he's been very consistent with that. So
That
big up to him.
yeah, no, I mean, Shesko is a long-term solution. We don't have long-term
Yeah,
solutions,
we're
right?
win now
Or
mode.
sorry, questions right now. Saka is at his prime.
Mm,
Saliba is at his prime. Gabriel is at his prime.
yeah,
Rice is at his prime.
yeah.
Raya, I don't think he's going to get any better.
Have
I
to
mean, we're
win
talking
now.
about almost half your squad right there,
Hmm.
and then you've got Nweri and Dalman that you can utilize if you needed to. Right?
That's
You got
it.
Timber. Is
Hmm.
he going to get any better than he is now? And I don't know. I don't think so. Right?
Yeah,
Might as well Skelly until they figure out where they want to play him. You got a lot of now players that are ready to go today. So yeah, Shesko was not gonna. I mean, if you brought Shesko in and you brought in and you brought in Ollie Watkins, I would say, all right, I can see a plan here because I think Ollie Watkins in our system would work fine,
yeah,
right? And then Shesko would be the long term. He's not starting for us day one, which is fine, but that's not what people are saying. They're saying Kai Havertz would start and Shesko would be sitting there, and it's like I don't like that at all.
yeah. Yeah, AJ say, how did Edu leave Vitinha at Porto and bought Vieira? Yeah, that was a miss. That was a blunder. Like he picked the wrong one. I don't know if he just yeah, he had a complete miss. One is on a world class level right now, and one has been a complete mess yeah, he had that a mad one. Imagine Arteta's face if Sesko ends up at United and scores on opening day. Brother, them United fans will be in this chat. That damn Wahaha, he's gonna be unbearable. And crazy things have happened because we've seen Anthony. Anthony scored against us on his debut and then fell off of a cliff. I took some corn that day when they beat us 3-1. Anthony, hey, he's gonna cook, and then so even that wore off quickly. Again, use Kai as a Sesko make weight. We get Sesko for Kai plus 30 to 40 million pounds. I think Sesko is gonna do well wherever he goes. I just don't think he is what we needed. Big up to Godfrey in the building. Big up to you, bro. Hope you are having a fantastic day, you legend. Sell Odegaard before Saka. That's simple. What do
Yeah.
you think our captain has to rise this season, right? He can't give us 3 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League campaign for an attacking player. He has to rise. There's onus on him to take the
Well,
bull up.
hopefully, I know, and hopefully, Bert has had that conversation with Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's your captain,
Mm-hmm.
but you've got an Nweri, you've got a Dalman.
Mm-hmm.
If we bring in Eze,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to tell you.
What's the tactful way? What's a tactful, or how do you go about stripping someone of the armband and still get something out of him as a manager? How do you do that?
Part of me is like, we don't really have to strip him. He just maybe, there's been captains that come off the bench. I know they've been older and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, but at some point it's got to be about the talent, and that's where it makes it manageable. That you know what, maybe you keep the armband, maybe you keep the
Mm-hmm.
armband at least, but not at the expense of the squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're telling me the only way, like I got to take his armband and I got to sit him, I'm gonna say, you know what, let's just sit him. Let him maybe he'll get that fire from sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Because at some point, there's got to be a talent that we have that will go out there and showcase what we need. Like I feel like if you put in Wary in there, and you said, you know what, you've got Rice and Zubamendi behind you,
Mm-hmm.
do some work for me, please, sir.
Yeah.
I think he'll be all right. All right. You put anybody in that spot in front of those two players, I think would be okay. All right. Some people say you put in Kai Havertz in there, all right, and he plays with Gyökeres, right? Maybe you'd be better for it. At some point, you're gonna have to do something like that. I think and where for me might be an option there to put in that position, and play him higher up, and then Rice and Zubamendi go. But at some point you're gonna have to. That's how I would handle it. I think I wouldn't. You wouldn't. I can't think you can do both at one time. I don't think you could strip him of the armband and set him on the bench. I think right now, for Arsenal's sake, we need better out of that role, that position in midfield. So if he's not the one, then somebody else does it, and worry about the armband tomorrow. You know,
Hmm.
that's kind of how I see it.
I think the opportunity. I think I would, as a manager, last year there were a couple of opportunities to do it last year when he was injured. Like when he was injured, Declan was playing. You give Declan or Gabriel the armband, and when
Yeah.
an Odegaard come back, you just let Declan or Gabriel keep it. That's the least that's the way you do it with the least amount of casualty. I think, right?
Yeah.
He was injured because everyone knows Declan is a leader in that midfield. After the press conferences, after tough games, he's the one that comes out and speak. It's never Martin. Martin usually comes out after a win or after he plays well. Declan is the one that comes out and face the music all the time. That's captain stuff. I think that's how you do it. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
you go.
no, somebody will be wearing the armband when he's not starting. That's the
Mm,
thing. So then that will just make it easy. E. Ross just put a quote in there. Gary's cooler than a fan, and I'm like, yeah, but all I know is after am I your brother's keeper? The man who said that quote was done for. All right. So I don't know. I just saw New Jack City the other day. So and
yeah,
if that's the quote you're bringing up, I don't know.
yeah. But I think that would have been he was injured long enough last year
Oh,
for a transition to take place. The fact that he didn't do it, I was like, he really, really, really fancies this guy. So I
yeah.
don't know,
Well,
man.
when he didn't bring in Weary, that's the other part of that scenario where
Mm,
you're like, he really doesn't want anybody to come in there and maybe take his spot. And it's like you have to be as cutthroat as you are with everybody else that we've seen, right? You have to. This is not. This is your career on the line. You can't do this for one player,
hmm.
right? And then right now we feel like Erdegaard and Kai Havertz are going to be the ones that going to break his back. Gary, the Arsenal bro, yeah,
Yeah, but the
yeah,
women's
yeah,
transfer
yeah,
window
yeah,
for that Canadian
yeah,
lady.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
the
think
women
I
are
think
doing
I think
bits. The women
I
are
think it's
doing
because
bits.
Arsenal is so successful that they can do that with the ladies' side, right? Because they do have a lot more money coming in.
Yeah.
Right? So and I think so, and I do like the way they handle that. And for me, if they did that with Arsenal, that means we're not bringing in six players. We're bringing in four, and then people are saying we're short because that's what they would need to do, right? If I said, here we go, we don't
Mhm.
need to bring in Capo, we'll just let Stepford be the backup, right, kind of thing, and we'll have to do a couple of things also. But if we brought in four solid players,
Yeah.
and we're gonna say we're short, but then that's what you're gonna get, and that's kind of what the women have done to some degree. They've just not brought in tons of players, but when they have brought in somebody, you're like, all right, that could be a future player. And then when they did mid season loans, they're like,
Yeah.
eventually, that's how Chloe Kelly came about, right? Like if we had brought in Ollie Watkins either on a loan in January,
Hmm.
I think we'll be a little bit more ahead of where we want to be. And I think that's kind of, we don't do those little things that, don't show up until later on when you're like, you know what, by doing this now, we're better off for it in the long term. So yeah, that's a yeah,
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 I hear it. Uh, in my opinion, he needs both cups to save his job while still being in the race. Yeah, it's
yeah.
if he does a domestic. Yeah, we touched on this the other day. Like even I'd be like, bro, you give me two trophies. I have no complaints. I don't care what two. You give me two of them. I'm calm.
Yeah.
I'm calm. We don't have them few months. We both know that. Yeah, like Gary said, we're in win now mode, absolute win now mode. Or um, I don't know how he's going to deal with pressure, but I think he will feel some pressure this season because at some point, even his staunchest defenders cannot defend the whole. We're building, we're building, we're building, we're building. Now, at some point, you have to lay down a marker, and that's where I'm at. That's where I am at. Big up to everyone in the chat, people. Make sure you are subscribing to Don't Waste the Trip. I am about 5 or 6 subscribers away from 1,600 when we will do our first giveaway here on BBK Sports. So thank you very much. We'll be giving back to the community for helping me out along this journey. Big up to every single one. Dio says, my hope is that Sesko stays in Germany, either at Leipzig or at Bayern. Please go to Bayern, go sign him or Dortmund. Dortmund need a striker. Yes, Sesko is high on he doesn't want him at Man United, but I think he's coming to the Prem. I think he does go to Man United. He's not going to Bayern. They got Harry Kane there. And but yeah, I could see him go to Dortmund. Dortmund always find a way to sign good players. Um, if he does go to Newcastle, I understand your worry. If he goes to Man United, I don't see it. I'm not. I think I'm not really worried about Man United. I don't think they're going to finish 15th this year. I think they will actually finish in the top half. There's no way they can be that bad this year. I'm actually more worried about Chelsea.
But
Uh,
also, I think if Isak won't move as
oh,
easy if Sesko doesn't go to Newcastle, like who like that's the I think that's isn't that also part of the scenario there that if he goes to Manchester United, then the Isak deal will either go on for a while or won't happen until January or next summer.
mm, but Isak is moving though.
Yeah, I mean,
He's-
it could be, but like they might not be able to. They might not be able to make. It might not make sense for them to just sell just because they have to.
mhm,
You know what I mean? Like if they can't bring somebody in, like I know, Liverpool can bring in Etikite and still bring in another striker.
mm,
Newcastle can't do that.
yeah, I think it's I think the relationship is soured at Newcastle. Liverpool
Yeah.
has upset that he's going there,
Well,
but I
they're
don't.
gonna have to pay. They're just gonna have to pay a lot of money. That's all. And then
They
it might
have,
it might it might drag out, and then it might as some people said, we might not have to worry about playing him in Anfield, or at least he might not be fully ready to go when we play in Anfield. So
they have the money to pay it, so I believe they will pay it, man. You've been given. You're no longer Gary. You're G Money. So,
yeah, see that's why I didn't like that quote.
yeah. Officially G Money. G Money. Yeah.
Cooler than a fan. I'm cooler than a fan. Oh no.
The Waffle Downstairs, can we get to 25
Let's
likes,
get it. Come
please?
on.
Yeah,
Come on.
please. New Jacks, you already know, man. I'm telling you that
Yeah.
E. Ross, man, he is a character. He character. Hi, lads. Rollins love Havers. He think he can get 20 goals this season.
That's the nickname I really don't like. And but no, you know what the thing is, if we did nothing, he could get 20 goals. We got you got Gyökeres in there. He's not going to get 20 goals.
20 Premier League goals? I don't think he'll ever get
Yeah,
Premier League goals.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
he'll ever.
yeah,
He's never done that. Not even in Germany when he
yeah,
started and played in that league
yeah,
that feeds goals and league.
yeah.
He scored 18 goals his entire 3 years at
Yeah.
Chelsea.
I mean,
That's not who he
he
is.
he might be a good guy. He might be a good player for us in the cups, and like we
Matthews.
won't have to worry about where the goals are coming from, and can we rest Eucharist and stuff like that. So yeah,
If we didn't get a Gyökeres and Havertz was leading the line for us and he stayed fit for 38 games, he would score 20 goals in all comps, but not 20 Premier League goals. He would.
Yeah.
Because he scored 23 and 9 last year in Premier League. So I think he would get 20 in all comps, but 20 Premier League goals is what we need. He's not that guy.
when he got 15, wasn't that 15 in the Premier League?
13.
It was 13 in Premier League. Okay, okay.
13. Yeah. So and that's the thing. When I was looking at Sesko's numbers, I'm like, Sesko's getting those numbers in the Bundesliga where it's harder to score. So if we put Premier League tax to that, then you're looking at 9 to 11 goals, and those are Kai Havertz numbers. We need to upgrade as well, not a side pass. If Arteta brings 2 FA Cups, brings in 2 cups, FA and Champions League and the league, I think he'll stay. I just have to be. Oh, big up to you, Zanzi. Big up to you, man. I think if he does a cup double, he stays for me. If he cleans up the domestic doubles, he stays.
Yeah.
You deliver 2 trophies to the club. I'm here for it.
And
I
and,
just
I- and I say this all the time. You got 4 big challenges. You need to be trying to win all 4 of them, and we'll see what happens at the end of the day.
yeah.
So like there is no like we're taking a break on this cup for a different. Nah. You trying to win everything, and we'll see where how And if that means you have to sit someone because they're not going to give it to you, then you sit.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the problem with Arteta. Like you might have to sit Saka because he's not going to give it to you today.
Mhm.
And if that's the case, then maybe I come off the bench. Maybe he doesn't play at all, but you put somebody out there who's going to give it to us for the full 90. If that's what it comes down to. I like to say these are the simple. They're the difficult options, but I think they're the simple solutions to the problem.
Mhm. Yeah, but the thing is that how many you really need to win 4 games? You can a good 4 or 5 game run to win the EFL Cup. It's not like
Yep.
it's a gauntlet, so
Yeah.
it's there to be won. G Money, that's you, Gary. That is you.
I
Gary,
don't.
Yeah. Hey, once it gets stuck on you over here,
yeah.
it's not going away. It is
I
not.
hear it. Now it gets G Money. Oh man,
After it's getting 20 now. Yeah,
I don't
I
even
don't.
know which G Money I want because you know what, G Money in the beginning when he hits the shot.
Yeah.
You know, that's the G Money you're talking about, not the G Money later on in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. If Havertz gets 20, I will donate to charity. It's a long shot. I don't expect him, and nor do I get upset at Kai Havertz for not hitting 20, because then we're asking him to do something he has never done. He is just not that guy.
Yeah. No,
You know?
like I said, it, if we can get the 20 plus GA in all comps, meaning that he's going to be playing in the cups and scoring for us, then
Mm,
that's I think that's perfect. That's what we need because we're gonna,
yeah,
we're not gonna want, Eucharist isn't gonna have to, shouldn't have to play those games, or
yeah,
he might get, he might get some starts when we're playing. Maybe hey, this one's for Mr. Tom when we're playing Leeds.
yeah.
Maybe we'll let, we'll let Eucharist rest for that one, so he doesn't punish them.
Yeah, Havertz should be able to bang a hat trick against Coventry, against Coventry or Preston North End or Bolton or Reading. Yeah, play him in those games and let him cook and let him have some rhythm, something about him, so he can come on in the 80th minute of a Champions League game, and then maybe Odegaard can put one on his head for him to into not in. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Ideally, Sesko still in Germany when the window closes. Yeah, boy 10. Yeah, he doesn't want Sesko at United, but I don't care who United get. We are not losing to them on August 17th. There's two results in that game. Either we win or we draw. They're not beating us. They're
And
not.
draw is a disappointment.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
that's
a disappointment. But as of now, that game got 1-1 written all over it still. Because I think Amarim will give Arteta a stubborn problem to solve.
yeah,
Because United will take a 0-0. They will take it.
yeah, yeah.
They will gladly take
Well,
it.
and that's
Because
where,
it hurts us, so
and
they
I
will.
say this, that's why one of those youngsters needs to come on and like change the script a little bit because, if it is sitting there, 1-1, 0-0, whatever it is, you
Mhm.
need that elixir to come in there and change things up a little bit, open up the game a little bit, and we have
Need
that.
Nani.
So,
Need Nani to come on and bang one of the top bins.
well, you know what? That's the thing. Yeah, we need him to come on, which means he ain't starting, right?
He starts. Like once the season starts, then he walks out, Gary.
Yeah. No, no,
I'm
no. It
you know,
just we.
yeah.
It's one of those things where we don't want to say this, right? All right. Well, he's not a left wing, right? That's what we're gonna. I don't want to have to say that.
Mm,
We say that about a lot of our players, right? Kyrgios is a left back. Well, he's not a left back. He's a center back. Calafiori is a left back. Well, he's not really a left back. He can play there, but he's not. I don't like when we keep saying that. And it's like at some point, just play the man in a position where they're more suited, more comfortable, and they have more successes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So now, I tell you what, as much as I slight Nani, I rather see Nani at left wing than Kai Havertz out wide, because I see a lot of talk about Arteta might shoehorn Havertz into the team and play Gyökeres centrally and force Havertz to the left. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, because at least Nani is a winger. Not my favorite winger or my preferred winger, but at least he knows how to play on the wing.
No, you know how that would look, right? Because that would just look like Saka would have two guys on him the entire game. Because they're like, "Are you gonna kick it long to Kai Havertz?
Yeah.
Go on, try it. Go on, try it." Right? How you feel that's gonna go if they kick it long to Kai Havertz?
Yeah, he is not going to beat anyone on the left wing and put in a cross or nothing. He's not. He gets the ball on the left wing. He's looking for a back pass. He's looking for someone to pass it to so he can run into the box, because that's where he knows he can help the team. That's just that's what it is. Big up to Eros again. Say exactly what I said on Lion Tech stream yesterday. G Money, play the players in their actual natural positions. Stop creating, but just stop complicating the things, man. Stop complicating. What's funny about the Arsenal ladies manager said the goal is the treble and must build on the Champions League win. Difference is standards compared to Arteta. That's when you get to the top, you kind of want to stay there.
If she would have started the season, they might have had that double.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference in why they didn't win the league, is because she didn't play until 5-10 games, between 5 and 10 games into the season. and that
Yeah.
made the biggest difference. So
Yeah.
yeah,
If Kai goes left wing, the season is over. Is that it, brother? It would. We cannot be doing that at this phase. As much as I hate that term, at this phase, at this point in Arteta's reign, we cannot be bought him as a midfielder, playing him as the striker. Now he's a left winger. No, don't. Not when you had, not when there were actual left wingers on the market to go be had. You go get him, man. You go get him. You know, that's what I'm saying. But tomorrow, what are your expectations from us versus Villarreal before we
I
wrap
just
up?
want us, as you said, and I think everybody, we want to see our striker start.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see Zubimendi with whatever's going in, whatever lineup in that midfield is going to be our potential midfield
Mm-hmm.
lineup, right? Saka start, left wing. You know what? If Noni took a week off, he can play. If he's going to be a left wing, let's see it until you bring in somebody else, all right? Because we've seen everybody else.
Yeah.
Even if you gave him 30, you know what? Even if you gave him 30 minutes, at least let him play with the team with our starting lineup, right?
Mhm.
Outside of Gabriel, everything else should be the starting lineup that we have right now. All right, right now, everybody outside of Gabriel, everybody else would be a starter right now. And if that's Noni, all right. But if we bring in, another player, maybe that changes things later. But I think we should be looking at our what should be at least 9 of our starters legitimately for the game. In the next 2 games, they don't have to play the full 90 or the full 60. You can pull them up at halftime like you usually do. But I think they need to play together. I mean, hopefully they've been practicing together,
Mhm.
so it doesn't look like they've never played. But I always say you practice you play the way you practice, right? If you don't, then you see it on the pitch,
Yeah.
game time. So they need to. We need to. Like I said, there should be at least 9 starters for that Manchester United match on the pitch tomorrow, and the next 2 games that we play,
Mhm.
and then we'll go from there.
I hear it, man. But yeah, man. What else you got coming up for the people, man? You have any
Yeah.
streams coming out later?
Yeah, so
7:30.
next Saturday I'll have a stream. I might have to do it remote because I'll be away, but I am
Mhm.
still gonna have it because it is the pre-season, and hopefully we have at least one player come in the door by then. But if not, then we'll just be talking about who's starting and go with what we've seen and I think we played 2 games by then,
Oh, okay.
right? Is it Wednesday? When's the other game? Is it
Wednesday.
Saturday?
Wednesday and Wednesday, Saturday.
Wednesday, Saturday. So hopefully, we'll have that game. But yeah, so next Saturday we'll be back on, and then Monday we're back on with Arsenal chat. It's be more like a match day on the weekend. I think is it the what you call it, the Arsenal, what is it, the trophy that they play on the weekend? There's one, right?
The Emirates
Uh,
Cup.
No, the charity cup, charity
Oh, the Community Shield.
shield. Sorry, I can't think of
Yeah,
the name
that's
of the
Sunday.
game.
That's
That is
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay,
That's
all
Sunday.
right.
The Liverpool Palace. But hopefully Eze doesn't feature in that game. Hopefully he's holding up an Arsenal number 10 shirt.
That yes, yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what I mean. That for Arsenal's sake, that's what they're all into marketing. They can't have their next player actually playing in a game, and then the
Yeah.
next week he's they can't have that.
'Cause
So
then you'll see the difference, right? You'll see Chelsea sell Manueke before a final, but you see a team that values their player hold on to him for a charity game. Yeah,
true,
that's
true,
the
true.
levels. That's what we'll see. But yeah, man, Gary, Udi jumping in, loudmouth football says Man United bid is 75 M euros minus bonuses. Newcastle is 80 M. Why would Leipzig settle for less? Yeah, I mean, I think I think Sesko says that I think he's leaning towards United, but I think Newcastle would actually be a better fit for him. The Man United team just seems to be poorly built. Between I asked a Man United fan on Jordy Dredd's TV the other day, like, what's your strongest lineup? And he couldn't, because Bruno and Cunha are kind of like the same player. Do you play them both together? Okay, now who defends? Ugarte, Casemiro can't run. Where's Xerxes going to fit in? It just seems mad. But watch as they play against Liverpool with a season-ending injury, and then Arsenal will buy him. Yep, we'll buy him with a broken back. I still play full price. Well, you could have had him. You could have had him training in Singapore with the lads, but we'll make a meal of it. Or watch Eze end up at Bayern, joining with his homeboy Elise, cooking in that lovely city of Munich. If you ever get a chance to visit Munich, Gary,
Mm.
lovely, lovely city.
So,
Go during September. Go to Oktoberfest. Try that. Get your later hose in. Go there. Have a great time and enjoy it. F. Sesko, man, players back in the day with this caliber were worth 25 M's like Chicharito. Udi has no love for Sesko. But yes, man, big up to Gary for coming in today and help joining me on stream.
Nice
Big up
having
to Mr. Battered, AJ, E. Ross, the legends that always come through the chat and show love to BBK Sports. Greatly appreciated. Make sure you are hitting those likes and subscribing to the channel if you haven't. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.